Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. It's too early, but we have to get started. Just waiting for at least one person to get in. Yes, we have one person. Let's get started. So today we are going to talk about this U visa, and then with one more news, what's happening with US citizenship for certain people, of course. And then after that, then I'll take questions. Okay, let the person who's here say hi. Say hi in the comment. Only one person watching. Say hi in the comments. Oh, we have 11 person now. Hello, hello, hello. Let's get right into it. 11 person, that's a good start. Okay, let's get right into it. So we'll get into the question. Hello, hello, hi, Paul, hi, Mana. Hi, Pina. Hi, Love. Wow, those are names. Anyway, but let's get right into it. Let me share the screen with you to start. Hello. Hi. So let's just get right into it. Let me share the screen. I'm going to start with one news, and then I have another one. Pretty much only two news for today. Then we'll get into the question just quickly. Let me share the screen. No, let's start with this one. So this is for the U visa. Okay, we know with U visa what before it used to work like this. Until the person gets an approval notice, that's when the person will get a work permit. That's the way it used to be. As a way of background, a EU non-immigrant visa status is available to non-citizens who have been victim of certain crimes, including domestic violence and sexual assault, and who are or have been helpful to lawful enforcement in the prosecution or investigation of those crimes. And non-citizen granted U1 non-immigrant status as a principal petitioner is authorized to work based on that status. USCIS automatically issues an employment authorization. Okay, that's the way it used to be. Upon approval of the petition for U non-immigrant status using the form I-918, that's the way it used to be. Upon approval, that's when the person gets a work permit. Now, because of we have a lot of pending cases with U visa, a lot of people have been applying for U visa. What is going to happen now? The USCIS has decided to exercise its discretion, okay, to conduct a bona fide determination and provide a employment authorization card and deferred action to non-citizens with pending cases, so who meet certain discretionary standards. So basically what's going to happen is, if they look at your case, they see that you could be qualified even if you haven't received the approval notice yet. What is going to happen? You are going the person is going to receive a work year, a work permit for 4 years. Okay, so the person doesn't have to wait for approval. So basically, upon their determination, that's what it says. USCIS provide that they'll conduct an initial review and will issue a bona fide EID and defer action for 4 years to petitioner for you non-immigrant status and qualifying family members if USCIS deems their petition bona fide instead of completing a full waiting list adjudication. So instead of waiting for the entire approval to come to the end, so once they just see that it's a bona fide, so basically made in good faith type of petition, the person will get a work permit for 4 years, defer action. And not to mention the family member too who are qualified to work will get the 4 years work permit as well. So that is really good news. So for 4 years while they're processing the case, at least the person is working, and the person with deferred action, they can actually travel as well, provided that they apply for work travel document as well. So which is really good news, okay? And then we have this other news. This is for the purpose of calculating physical presence for citizenship. Remember that with citizenship, it's 5 years of continuous presence, and then 2 years for people who are applying under the spousal provisions, okay? But then if somebody has been for a full year or more than 6 months outside of the US, basically 1 year or more, sorry, outside of the US, sometimes they have lost continuous residency. But now there's a little change for people who actually went outside of the United States in a qualifying religious vocation. So pretty much you can preserve your residency by applying to the form 9470. So at that point, continuous residency will not be interrupted. That's only if you were outside in a qualifying religious vocation, okay? That's really specific. For other people, if you be outside of the United States, remember that you have broken that pretty much that continuous residency requirement. So you're gonna have to wait again to come up with that 5 years. So that's just how it works, okay? Stop sharing. And yeah, so now let's go to questions. Let me start. Okay, love. My spouse is from Haiti. Where do we get the police certificate to submit to the USCIS in National Visa Center? Police certificate for what? So if you're from Haiti and you want the police certificate from your spouse or for you, from you, you go to your county police station. So Prince Mishra, what about 8-year citizenship pathway? My friend, we're still waiting. Yesterday, if you missed it, we're talking about they're trying to see if they can put it into the infrastructure bill. So this is something just to wait until September to see what's going on. When will essential business co-worker legislation? Yeah, it's something Pina. It's something to wait again until September, because right now nothing is moving. We're just waiting for September. Why? Because in September they will be passing this budget for next year, and that's when they are trying to see if they're gonna do it. Juliet, how are you doing? Yes, I'm doing good, Juliet. Oh, Romuald Tassigne. Morning, Bijoux. Any updates on immigration reform through reconciliation? Well, the only update we have is that in September, they are going to be voting on the budget. And that's when Chuck Schumer, the majority leader, he's trying to see if they can actually put some type of reform into that infrastructure bill and rephrase it. So basically use different words to present it so it can fit that budget reconciliation bill, because they want to make an argument for raising revenue. If they give people some type of work permit, then people are going to pay some fees and penalty fees as well, and that way they will raise revenue. So that's the argument. So we just have to wait until September to see how it's gonna go. How long do asylum applicants get their first AD for? Well, it's 1 year. It used to be 2 years. Then it changed. It's under Trump to 1 year. I believe that it went back to 2 years. Sasha, yeah, it used to be 2 years for the first time, and then under Trump it changed for 1 year, and now I believe they went back to 2 years. Love. As for my spouse, it's for him that it is in Haiti. This is my spouse. He's in Haiti, the country that's as. Oh, from Haiti, what police certificate? Well, what you do, you go to us.gov, like the Department of State website, and usually they'll tell you, like for Haiti, this is what you need. So I don't know it on top of my head because I'm not from Haiti, so I don't get a lot of clients from Haiti. So you go to the Department of State website, and you'll see what type they really need from Haiti. But if the spouse goes to a police like a local police station in Haiti and get the police report there, I think if it comes from a local police station, then it should be acceptable here. Sasha, can you recommend? Oh, no, I don't know anybody in Canada. I don't, for real. I don't know anybody in Canada. Sorry. I think what you should do, you should go to the website, maybe the Canadian Lawyers Association, and ask for recommendation there. Yeah, that's what I'll do if I were you. Questions? Still waiting for questions. Remember, we're doing questions because some people will be asking me questions by email, and they don't want to pay for consultation fees. That's why we're doing this session, so you can just ask your questions here. So I'm waiting for questions. Come on now. So I'm still waiting for questions. Well, just to recap what we've been talking about, okay? Today we've been talking about U visa, victims of crimes. So now, moving forward, people with pending visa, they will. What about U visa people abroad? So what about them? Like, what is the question? So basically, if you're applying from abroad, then you just have to wait for consulate for approval to get here, because they can't give you a work permit abroad to work with it. So yeah, it looks like if somebody's abroad, they just have to wait for work permit. For the approval, so that they can go to their consulate and do consular processing to get the visa to get here. And once they're here, then they can apply for work permit and start working, or adjustment of status, whatever comes first. In your experience, have you ever had any asylum applicant abandon their case after 3? No, I've never had somebody who actually abandoned the case. I've had somebody closing the case because they wanted to pursue adjustment of status to marriage, which I don't recommend to close the case. You just have to do adjustment of status to marriage. Once it has been granted, then you can close the case. But if the person abandoned their case and come back, first of all, they're not going to reclaim asylum again, because they went back where they say that it was dangerous. So unless they come back with a different type of visa. Can you talk on VAWA, please? What about VAWA? You need to ask a specific question. Brendan, you need to ask a specific question. Veronica, greeting. Any chance for a bipartisan immigration given situation at the border? Yes, we are still waiting in September. Something not major, but some changes will, according to what we've been reading, basically they're saying that in September they're trying to rephrase the reform, really to try to make an argument that if they pass the bill, then it's going to raise revenue. So because they're voting for a budget, they're looking for money. So if they pass the bill, then people will apply for those work permit, for those green card or temporary status. So then they will raise revenue like that. So that's the argument. The official, whatever official merit certificate that you have to submit, that's the one you submit. If it comes to like the person got married at the court, or the person got married somewhere that is official in Haiti, so the National Visa Center have to accept it if it comes from official places. I don't see where there's no problem with that. When will immigration pass for undocumented people or essential work exactly according to you? I don't know exactly when it will pass, but what we know is that in September, that's when they will try to make another argument. You have to just watch for September, Patel. Well, love, when your spouse go to the interview, they don't get the green card there. They just get a visa to get to the US. That's what they call consular processing. You don't get the green card there. You just get the basically the immigrant visa. So once he get approved, you get the immigrant visa and get here, and then here they will basically send him the green card from here, or apply for a green card from here. What can okay, basically, yeah, it's pending over 30 months prima facie renewal several times. Well, you can ask for expedited request and see where it leads you. Some people just sue government. That's like drastic move. You can sue the government if you have money to file a lawsuit if it's taking too long. The easiest part to go is to ask for expedited request and see if it's gonna lead you somewhere. So those petitions, sometimes it can take forever. Okay, so the budget parliamentarian said that Democrats will have only one chance to push the budget this year. If nothing happened by September, does it mean out for good? Well, if nothing happened in September, Sasha, what it means is that they have to wait for another occasion next year. Then we have to look at April of next year for another reconciliation, and then September of 2022 for another one. So that's what's going to happen. But what I believe personally is that this year something is going to happen. It might be not for everybody, but it could be something. And perhaps for dreamers, because that's where everybody agree upon, you know, and maybe essential workers as well. So that's what I personally believe. But remember, essential worker, a lot of people from essential worker, they're undocumented. So when we talk about 11 million, if the person happened to be an essential worker, then it is covered. Can I apply for any? Well, asylum cases pending since 2019. You can only apply for any if you have another. Let's say you get adjustment of status through work employment. The worker is wanting to sponsor you, but otherwise you just have to wait for the court decision. There's nothing really we can do, and there's no law that has been passed, really. So it's just a waiting game. Oh, how much time period takes for a green card process after it comes into law? Green card usually can take up to 10 months, in general, 11 months for somebody to get a green card. But you know that Patel, with this basically backlog and all that, yeah, people are taking like 2 years to just get their green card, really, to be honest with you. What is going on with legal entry, TPS holders? Any news? TPS holder, the last decision was those TPS holder, with the one with legal entry. Oh, with legal entry, you don't have any problem. If you have a basis to adjust status, you can adjust it because you have legal entry. The people who had a problem to adjust status because they had a family petition, but then it got denied because because of entry without inspection. But if you have, let's say, Goldsmith, let's say you want to adjust status based on marriage, and you have legal entry, then you can go ahead and file your green card petition because you have a reason to adjust status and you have a legal entry. So you are not barred from adjusting status, in other words. What's the problem traveling with advanced parole outside of the US? Oh, the problem is, remember that advanced parole is a discretionary measure, right? If they give you permission to travel, they can anytime retract their permission. So based on certain things. So usually people say that, well, I'm going to travel, but they apply for asylum and they end up traveling in their hometown. It just makes a contradiction with what they said. They said that, well, I fear persecution, but now they end up going in their hometown. So if USCIS finds out, then they can cancel the advanced parole thing. And then when you come at the airport, you can't get inside. And it's like, wow. So then you have to go back and try to ask for another type of visa, and good luck. So that's the problem. The problem is, there's only one problem with that. The only problem is, well, they can cancel it anytime they want. So, but people do travel with advanced parole and come back without a problem. So it's just a matter of luck, I believe, or if you're really traveling for the right reasons. Okay, Alan George. Hi, good morning. I'm claiming asylum, but my family is in my home country in fear that they don't have a visa. How do I get them here while my case is still pending? Yeah, one of the way you can get them here is to ask for expedited request. It works sometimes. Let's say, for example, okay, George, let's say, for example, your family are back home and it's a dangerous place. For example, the place is like there's a war going on, right? I'm just going to give an example. Like, let's say your family is in Afghanistan, right? And the war just broke. Or some country in Africa, like in my country, in the East Coast, there always has war going on, okay? And then, so you can ask for expedited request for humanitarian reason. And usually that one works because you can have a lot of proof showing that my family is back home in danger. Look at, this is what's happening right now. At that point, your case will be expedited. Then you can file a petition for your children. Then your children, your family can come here. Or your family you can file a different type of visa for your family, like visitor visas, so that they can just get here and wait here, really. So, but then when they wait here, if their visas expire, they become undocumented. So once they get here, they should just file for the asylum themselves as well, just to have their unlawful presence not waived, but at least under control, you know. Sasha, state of residency, when does it affect the duration? Well, the EAD receipt nowadays only taking 30 days to get. If you change the address, you should inform them that you have changed address. You should file that form, change of address online, because otherwise they'll send it to a different address. So you should just, I don't think it affects your case, but I think that they might send the receipt to a different address if you haven't changed your address in the system. Patel, if I have legal entry and overstay undocumented, but there's no permanent family member in US, can I apply for adjustment of status? Well, Patel, the only time you apply for adjustment of status if you have a basis for it. Basically, maybe you got married to a US citizen or lawful permanent resident, or maybe you got a job offer that's willing to sponsor you. So, or your asylum gets granted, that's when you apply for adjustment of status. What is happening with 601 waiver application? Like what? What do you mean by what is happening with it? Did you apply and it's taking forever? It takes like 10 months. Let's say I have TPS with legal entry and my work permit expires in September. So what should I do? How do I apply for a green card? Yeah, you have TPS, your work permit expires. How do I apply for a green card? I mean, to apply for a green card, as I said, you have to have a basis for a green card. It has to be something that you're claiming so that you can get a green card. For example, It can be a family member that is filing for you, like petition for you. It can be marriage. It can be work. It can be that you open a business in America or through e-visa, and then later on try to get a green card on your own, or self-sponsored green card, like you have extraordinary ability. So there must be a basis for a green card. You can't just file a green card with no basis, because if you look at the green card application, the form 485, it gives you every basically under what are you applying, under what category are you applying, so basically to speak. So it's not like you just apply. You have to have a basis. Is it a family petition? Is it a work petition? Is it a self-sponsored petition? And all petition has its own requirement to meet. So my name is Mike. I'm a DoorDash driver. Did qualify for essential worker? Yes, you do qualify for essential worker if you work during the pandemic, and you can prove it that you work during the pandemic. And once the bill passes, then you can apply for that TPS status. So, question. We're trying to wrap up now. Questions. Where do we go online to update an expired green card? We don't update an expired green card. You file for love. You file for a new green card replacement once it expires using form I-90. File for a new green card replacement using form I-90. That's the form you use. Love. I love USA. Yes, we all do. That's why we're here, right? So questions. We're trying to wrap up. Essential worker will apply for the legal, I think it's the temporary legal status once the bill passed. It hasn't passed yet, Mark Dean. The bill hasn't passed yet. You're a very nice human being. Thank you, Patel. Johnson Olekan, how can I prove I'm an essential worker? So basically, what is the type of job you do? If your job qualifies as essential, then you are essential worker. If you go to my YouTube channel under community, you scroll down, you'll see where I listed all the type of job. There's a website where you can go to see if your job qualifies as essential worker. Can you talk a little bit about Freedom of Information Act? I read. Oh, Freedom of Information Act is to get an information of whatever status you have with the immigration. Yes, your employer can request that just to know what's going on with your immigration case, Sasa. That is correct. I am on withholding of removal. Is it the right time to apply for work permit? Have you been granted withholding of removal? That's the question. If you have been granted, then you can apply for work permit. Hashidat, yes. If you have been granted withholding of removal, then you can apply for work permit. If you are in removal proceeding, you have to wait for the decision. But it was expired before. If I get an extension on my B visa, but it was expired before I get it, what can I do? So did you apply for an extension and then you got a good one after the other one was expired? Is that what you mean? So if you have a correct one, then you're fine. But you cannot extend after it already expired. That's like you extend it before it expires. Next month they are going to do reconciliation. I said September because that's when they are going to be talking about basically voting for the new budget. They might start talking about it next month, but we're not going to see a completion of it until September. So Dioshi. Jean-Marc, the TPS is not ready yet. Yes, with our pending asylum case, you can apply for essential worker if the bill passes. Asylum case pending working the pandemic, yes, they can. If you're an essential worker under another name, wow, that would be challenging to prove it was you. Really, you're gonna have to really work hard on proving that it was you working there. After the 10 green card expire, what happened? You can renew it if you want. Because they expire, you need to renew it to have another one, another 10 years one. F1 is the student visa. TPS is a temporary protected status. So temporary protected status, are you from like the country like Haiti or those countries that has TPS, temporary protected status? I don't think that the asylum case is compromised. Basically, your employer has the right to know what's going on with you if you have a legal status. If you have a work permit to work. So that's why they want to request the information to know what's going on, because maybe they're afraid to hire somebody who has no permission to work. That's their goal, basically. Benefit during the job. What would be my benefit during the job burden? Withholding of removal. Has your withholding of removal been granted? Oh, thanks, Patel. Have a great day too. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I guess we got all the questions. So we are going to wrap up for today. I guess we got all the questions answered. So basically what's going on with those bills, we just have to be patient. Really, there's nothing major going on. They're shooting for September. Let's wait and see what's going to happen. But tomorrow I'll be back here with another subject. And then maybe we're going to go again and do another live, because I'll be here all week. Thursday and Friday, I'll be here at night, 6 p.m. Eastern time. Thursday, 6 p.m., Friday, 6 p.m. But tomorrow is Wednesday, I'll be here at 10 a.m. Again, thank you for coming. Join me again tomorrow. If you have more questions, come back tomorrow. We're going to try to answer those questions to the best of the ability. I get married, my wife, she chased me away from his house. I have evidence. You can apply for VAWA. Joshi, apply for VAWA. Your case looks like a VAWA. U visa is basically you have to prove assault. If somebody just chase you out, maybe they're just abusing. VAWA could work better than U visa. So that's what I'm gonna say for Joshi Kaim. So thank you again. Thank you. If you didn't ask your question, go ahead and think about it. Tomorrow, I'll be here Wednesday, tomorrow at 10 a.m. again. We're going to do it one more time. And thank you again. Hope you have a great day. Volunteer departure. What do you mean by, what is the question about voluntary departure? I don't see a question. So anyway, check the, yes, you use the form I-90. Love, use the form I-90. So to apply for a green card replacement, they use the form I-90 once your green card has expired. So well, if your TPS Goldsmith, if your TPS get expired, Usually every year before it gets expired, Congress renew that country TPS. So from Syria, I think it is until 2022. So before it gets to 2022 and expire, usually the Congress will extend that country TPS. And once the Congress extend that country TPS, you apply again, just like that, until the day we find another solution. So basically, just have to watch the news and see if the Congress expands that TPS for your country, Syria, then you renew it. In the meantime, it gives you a permission to work and travel. So that's what it is to it. VAWA can travel if they have a work travel document, Rashida. Yeah, Ikolo, you're still going to qualify for if the bill passes, okay? She did not deport, so if the bill, Damien Wabela, she did not deport. So basically, she's barred from, the person did not deport, she barred from anything. I guess it takes 5 years of bar, I can't remember. But anyway, once the bill passes, then the person will be considered undocumented. They can, in fact, apply for that if the bill passes. How about 8 years? We're still waiting for it. Can I file for asylum now? If you have a basis for it, you can still file for asylum, because at least in your case, Goldsmith, you have an exception because you have maintained a legal status since you came. You had F1, then you had TPS, so you have maintained a temporary status, so you can still file for asylum if you have in fact fear of persecution. Of course, it has to be a valid claim. So, but at least you have that exception met already, because you're filing after 1 year, so you have to have an exception. In your case, you already have the exception because you have maintained a legal status. F1, then TPS, they're all legal status, like you are legal here, okay? So that's it. You guys come in with question at the end. So anyway, that's it. We're going to continue again tomorrow, okay? Thank you very much. I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.